Hey, what's good? It's your boy Matthew Michael, and in today's video, we'll be going over the need to knows when selling options premium. My goal in this video is to provide you with all the basic knowledge that you need to sell options premium. So if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so that you don't miss any future content or giveaways. I post new videos every week, and I would absolutely love to have you as part of the family. Also, while you're down there, be sure to smash the like button. And if you haven't already, be sure to sign up for Webull using the link down below in the description and get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. And one last thing before we get into the video, I'm just going to take my Instagram and I'm going to leave it right here. Do with it as you will. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so you're probably watching this video because you want to know what selling premium is. Or you're just awesome and you're here to support me. And if that's you, I big time appreciate you. But before we get into selling premium, first it's important to understand what premium actually is and what premium is in the case of options contracts. The premium is the price that is paid to purchase an options contract. If someone is buying a $25 call and it costs $2.30 per share, they will be paying a $230 premium. The buyer is the one who pays the premium, but when you're selling premium, the premium is your profit. And as long as the contract that the buyer purchased expires worthless, you get to keep all the premium. Alright, so now that we know what selling premium is, we're going to talk about the different ways that you can sell premium. And I'm going to start off with the one that requires the least capital. The first premium selling strategy that we're going to be taking a look at is selling credit spreads. A credit spread is constructed by selling an options contract and then buying another one further out of the money to reduce your risk. The second contract that you buy is really just there to keep you from losing too much on the trade. And the first one as well, your profit. Credit spreads can be used on both puts and calls, but it's important to remember that since we're selling premium, we want the contracts to do the opposite and expire out of the money. This means that with the call credit spread, we want the stock price to go down, and with the put credit spread, we want the stock price to go up. Now that we've talked about credit spreads a little bit, let's hop over to Robinhood and take a look at just how to construct one. Alright, so here we are in the handy dandy Robinhood, and we're going to be taking a look at PFE because it trades in 50-cent increments, and I think that this is a great stock to start with because it trades in 50-cent increments and that you're able to start selling premium with as little as $50. And again, in no way, shape, or form am I a financial advisor, but in my opinion, why I think this is good is because it provides a movement. It's not too volatile, but it moves enough, and again, those 50-cent increments. But anyways, we're going to take a look at how to create a call debit spread and a put debit spread, and then we're going to talk about how they profit, and we're also going to take a look how they're priced. Okay, so first we're going to make a call credit spread. So with the call credit spread, you actually want to start and you want to sell. I'm going to do a trade that I would actually do. So it's July 1st right now. This trade expires July 10th, so I want something I don't think Pfizer has a chance of hitting. So I might sell a $37 call, and then I might buy, honestly in this case, because I don't have much money, I would buy a $37.50 call. That would bring my total profit to $2. And I know it's not a lot of money, but this strategy can be scaled up, and this strategy can also be used on higher paying, more volatile stocks that pay more premium. But this is just an example. So yeah, if you're just trying to learn something like this, it might take some time, but it's good for learning. But buy, sell, and then review, and then you put one in. That's how you purchase a credit spread. You would need $48 to execute this trade because the spread between the two options is 50 cents. It requires $50 of collateral. Since there are 100 shares represented in a contract, it requires $50 of collateral, and you're getting a $2 credit, so 50 minus $2 will give you $48, and that's how much you would need to make this trade. Alright, so that's a call credit spread, and a put credit spread would be exactly the opposite. You would sell one closer to the money and then buy one further out. So I would sell this 32.5, and now I have to buy one. Alright, so as you can see, this is resulting in a $20 credit. Because I'm using a wider spread on this put credit spread, it would cost more money to make this trade, but with more money being at risk, I have the ability to collect more premium. And taking a look at this put credit spread, the spread on this put credit spread is a $2 spread, and I'm receiving a $20 credit, so $2 minus $20 is $180. So you would have to have at least $180 in order to open the spread. So with the credit spread or selling any kind of premium, you'll notice that the closer the expiration it gets, the more premium you collect on your contracts. And the reason for this is if it's out of the money, it's more likely that that contract will expire worthless the closer it gets to expiration. Now that we've taken a look at how to set up credit spreads, we're going to move on to the more capital intensive strategies. And we're going to start out with selling puts. Again, with this strategy, it profits as the value of the contracts goes down. So while buying a put, you want the price of the stock to go down. When you sell a put, you want the price to stay above the strike price. If the contract should happen to expire below the strike price or happen to be exercised by the buyer, as the seller, you are required to buy 100 shares of the underlying stock at the strike price using the collateral that was on hold for the trade. So this is a little bit better than a credit spread, because if you get exercised, instead of losing all your money, you still get shares instead of losing all your money. If you're interested in learning more about selling puts, I have a more in-depth video, and I'll be sure to link it in the card above right here, and as well as down below in the description. So if that interests you, be sure to check that out. Moving on from selling puts, if you got exercised and you didn't want 100 shares of the stock, or you already own 100 shares of a stock, you can use this third premium selling strategy, which is selling calls. Just like all the other premium selling strategies, you want the inverse to happen of what would happen if you bought the contract. So when you sell a call, you want the stock price at expiration below the strike price. That way the contract is worthless, and again, you get to keep all the premium. If you end up selling a call and it does get exercised, if you end up selling a call and it expires in the money or it does get exercised, you will be responsible for selling 100 shares of the stock at the strike price to the seller. So in this case, you still get the money from the shares and you still get to keep the premium, but the main downside is when you get exercised and have to sell the shares, you miss out on profiting to the upside with the shares. But now that we talked about selling calls and puts, let's hop in the handy dandy Robinhood and take a look at how we would set this up. Alright, so we're back in the handy dandy Robinhood, and we're going to look at how to sell calls and puts. I've chosen Nikola for this example because there was a point in time when I had owned VTIC shares for around $27. So I'm just going to use the example of if I had 100 shares and if I had held them to this point. Let's say I bought 100 shares when they were worth $27 and I wanted to sell a $70 call and I wanted the expiration to be July 10th. Is it possible for this stock to expire at $70? Yes, it is. Is it likely? There's a pretty good chance. But the fact that you bought these shares for $27, you will be locking in $53 of profit, and on top of that, you'll be locking $175 worth of profit in for the premium. So first, let me show you exactly how we would set that up. So first, we would make sure we were on the sell tab. Then we would hit the contract, and then yeah, we would just put in 1 because that's how many contracts we want to sell to represent 100 shares. Just for selling a call for 100 shares, you will get $175 just for a week's worth of time. And we're not going to go through with that because I do not have 100 shares of Nikola, but that's how that would work. And if Nikola expires below $70, you get to keep the premium and then wash and repeat again next week if that's something you still want to do. So yeah, if Nikola traded at $66.45 every week, you would be able to sell the call, collect $175 each week, and you would just make $175 each week selling the premium on this. So if you have a lot of shares, this could be a good strategy. But now we've taken a look at selling calls. Now let's hop over to selling puts. All right, so we're still in the sell tab, but now let's go over to puts. Okay, so this is the way I personally use this. If I really wanted to be in Nikola stock and I had a set price that I wanted to be in it at, let's say I wanted to get in at $40 and I didn't care how long it took and I was willing to buy 100 shares for $40, what I would do is me personally, this is personally how I would do this, is I would get time on it, maybe a few months, maybe a couple of years, depending on, you know, your need for the money. Maybe do it every week. I put August 7th as just a random date, but the way I would do this is I would go to that $40 strike price. I would sell a put. I would sell one, and right now that's coming out to about $485. So when I sell this put, that is giving me the obligation to buy 100 shares if it falls below this strike price. So no matter what, I still get to keep the $485 trade, and if it falls below $40 in this time, I get to buy the shares. It may fall a lot below that, it may not, but in my eyes, this is a way to get paid to buy the stocks you want. So that's personally how I use this. And that's how you would set up and sell a put. And like I said, I'll have a video on this down below in the description that's more in depth. Be sure to check that out if you haven't. But yeah, that is how you sell a call and how you sell a put. And just a reminder, I am not a financial advisor. None of this is considered financial advice. If you don't understand what's going on, be sure to create a thinkorswim and paper trade before you try these strategies with real money. All right, in this video, you learn what premium is, how to set up a credit spread, how to sell calls and puts. Oh yeah, and I forgot one last thing. Selling premium is especially great in times of increased volatility. People are willing to pay more for the contracts, and it's a great time to use that to your benefit and collect more premium. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything new, please be sure to smash the like button. It really helps to grow the family, and I really appreciate it as well. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And if for some reason you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so that you don't miss any future content or giveaways. I post new videos every week, and I would absolutely love to have you as part of the family. And last but certainly not least, thank you so much for watching, and peace.